But no, yeah, I've worked for people here and there, but I've always done my own. You know what I mean? Right. You gotta do it. However you got. It's hard to make money in boxing. You know what I mean?
It's not even like I was reaching out.
Anybody here for the money? But yeah, but this month YouTube is good. The holidays, it's like triple, 10 times more.
Yeah, because normally December and January are like terrible. Yeah. They're listening to us.
Met every summer, and she's shooting black he didn't block her, so she can still like he blocked my sister, like he had my sister, and he was like friendly with her and like the whole shit. It's just so I literally
Gentlemen, very good afternoon to you and welcome as Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for our big night of action coming your way tomorrow night at Staples Center. And it's all brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and live on Showtime pay-per-view. Our opening attraction features featherweights in the ring, 10 rounds of action. It is co-promoted and in association with Samson Boxing. And at this time, we invite our fighters to the stage. First, from Arjona, Bolivar, Colombia. With a record of 30 wins and 4 losses, he has 26 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the hard-hitting contender. Please welcome El Escorpión, Miguel Marriaga. And we invite his opponent to the stage at this time from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. With 25 wins in his 31 professional bouts, please welcome the world-ranked featherweight contender, Eduardo Zurdo Ramirez. And our fighter is almost ready to step onto the scale. 10 rounds of action scheduled. First, we present a former world title challenger. Tomorrow night, he will be making his Showtime debut. Onto the scale at this time, please welcome El Escorpión, Miguel Marriaga.
Okay, step up the scale. Hold still, please. 129.4.
129 and a half pounds, 129 and a half pounds for Miguel Marriaga. And we bring to your attention this contracted weight on this fight is 130 pounds. Now we invite to the scale the WBC number 2 ranked world featherweight contender from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, Eduardo Zurdo Ramirez.
Still. 129.5.
129.5 pounds, 129.5 pounds for Zurdo Ramirez. And there they are, ladies and gentlemen, our opening attraction tomorrow night from Staples Center on Showtime pay-per-view World Ranked Featherweights in action, 10 rounds of boxing. Eduardo Zurdo Ramirez, Miguel El Escorpión Marriaga.
Yeah, talking to Michelle.
All right, fans, here we go. We're ready to bring up our fighters for our next attraction. Premier Boxing Champions presents a middleweight attraction. First joining us to the stage from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. His record 20 wins, 1 loss with 16 wins. Coming by way of knockout, here's the world ranked contender, Carlos Adames. And we invite his opponent to the stage at this time, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York by way of Ukraine. His record 13 wins, 3 losses, 10 wins, coming by way of knockout. Ranked the WBC #2 middleweight contender, Sergey Derevyanchenko. Now it looks like our fighters are ready to step onto the scale at this time. 10 rounds of action, middleweights in action. First, the hard-hitting contender. He is ranked the #9 world contender at 154 pounds, introducing Carlos Adames.
We're at 159.4.
159.5 pounds, 159.5 pounds for Carlos Adames. And his opponent, former world title challenger, ranked the #2 WBC world contender in the middleweight division, the technician Sergey Derevyanchenko. 159.5 pounds, 159.5 pounds. We have a fight in the middleweight division. Sergey the technician Gervonta, Carlos Adames. And there they are, ladies and gentlemen, for the WBC middleweight world title eliminator, the technician Sergey Derevyanchenko versus Carlos Adames. 10 rounds of action in the middleweight division. Tomorrow night, live on Showtime pay-per-view.
You said your mama.
Well, fans, Premier Boxing Champions continues with our official weigh-in. This time we present our fighters in a world title eliminator and the co-main event of the evening, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Showtime. This bout brought to you in association with Samson Boxing and Maravilla Box. We welcome our fighters to the stage at this time for our co-main event. First, from Torre la Vega in Spain, undefeated at 33 wins, no losses, 14 knockouts, the WBC #2 ranked super welterweight contender, Sergio El Niño Garcia. And we invite his opponent to the stage. He's stepping up already from Coachella, California. 6 feet 5.5 inches, 17-0-1 with 12 knockouts. The undefeated towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora. And our fighters are ready to step onto the scale. 154-pound weight limit, WBC Super Welterweight World Title Eliminator. Now making his U.S. debut, the undefeated #2 ranked contender. 153.5 pounds for Sergio Garcia, 153.5 pounds. And now to the scale, the undefeated phenom, ranked the WBC #4 world contender, the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora. 153.25 pounds, 153.25 pounds for Sebastian Fundora. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's for the WBC Super Welterweight World Title Eliminator, the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora, El Niño Sergio Garcia. Both fighters undefeated, both top world-ranked fighters for the WBC Super Welterweight World Title Eliminator at our co-main event of the evening, live tomorrow night on Showtime pay-per-view. corners, there's meals next door for you. Fighters and corners, there's meals next door for you after the weigh-in. This next weigh-in is 6 rounds of boxing in the super featherweight division. Introducing first, veteran of 20 fights, 3 by knockout from Bryan, Texas, Aaron Rodriguez. And his opponent from Baltimore, Maryland, 5 victories, no defeats, 5 by knockout, Malik Warren. 131.8 pounds for Aaron Rodriguez. 131.8 for Rodriguez. And now to the scale, the undefeated 5 victory, no defeats, all 5 by knockout, Malik Warren. 129.8, 129.8 for Warren. Rodriguez, Warren, 6 rounds of boxing in the super featherweight division. This next weigh-in is 4 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting on the red corner from Orange, California. 4 bouts on his record, 1 win by knockout, Darren Leva. And his opponent is the fighting on the blue corner from Washington, D.C. 2 victories, no defeats, multiple victories by knockout, Major
What's up, brother? Good luck tomorrow, man.
Appreciate it.
I know Eddie.
We'll trade that profile. He went that way. But I'm assuming he had a line.
146.4, 146.4 for Leva. And now to the scale, the undefeated fighter from Washington, D.C., Jaleel Major Hackett. 146.8, 146.8 for Hackett. Leva Hackett, 4 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division.
All right, brother. Always a pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next weigh-in is 4 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing first,
Did he say anything to you, Tank? Did he say anything to you? Or you just felt like pushing him?
Right here, baby. All right, hold on. You gotta get the glove. All right, wait, hold on. Hey. Calvin, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Hey, great job making weight. That was easy, huh? Last words for the fast tank?
Best of luck, Tank.
No farther than the door.
Whoop his ass.
He said.
Where you guys going?
Sauce, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next weigh-in is 6 rounds of boxing in the super flyweight division. Introducing first, she fights out of Guadalajara, Mexico. 19 victories, 15 defeats, 5 of those victories coming by with a knockout.
Let's see what else we could get here.
I know, right?
Something not like you. Tank just walked out.
And now on the scale from Guadalajara, Mexico, Nancy Franco de Alba. 115.4, 115.4 for de Alba.
Because I've been studying him, watching him for over 30 years of life. Nobody knows him better than me.
Once he's done.
Coaching staff did everything.
And now to the scale from Las Vegas, Nevada, 19 victories, 2 defeats, 5 by knockout, the lady of boxing, Avon Knight. 117.4 for Knight, 117.4 for Knight. De Alba, Knight, 6 rounds of boxing in the super flyweight division.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this weigh-in is for the opening attraction tomorrow night from the Staples Center. 4 rounds of boxing in the super featherweight division. Introducing first, she'll be fighting out of the red corner. A veteran of 5 professional fights, 2 victories by knockout from SeaTac, Washington, Elizabeth Tuhane.
Other guys that I work with on a day-to-day basis. I've been working with now for over a year. All of them. 36 wins.
128.6, 128.6 for Tuhane. Her opponent, 2 victories, no defeats. Both of those victories coming by way of knockout from Baltimore, Maryland, Mia Ellis.
That's kind of cool. Let me get a little. That's cool.
They keeping me busy. Time off, get right back with them. Well, renowned trainer, Kenny Porter.
129.6, 129.6 for Ellis, Tuhane Ellis. 4 rounds of boxing in the super featherweight division to open up our fantastic card tomorrow evening. It's all brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, GTV Promotions, GTV Promotions, Staples Center, and Showtime pay-per-view.
thank you so much, Steve.
Hey, Kenny,
Kenny,
can we head this way and get away from that speaker?
Sure.
Because I kept having to yell for it. Yeah, no worries.
What's up, guys? I'm at the Davis Cruz fight. I got Davis this weekend by knockout. Make sure you tune in. Showtime pay-per-view. And it's fireworks.
Caleb, what's it like, man? Even after taking your first loss, you still get all this love and admiration from the fans. What's that like?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. I've been doing so well in boxing and doing a lot of great things, in the ring, and then it takes a loss to kind of people to see that. It's disappointing. It's like a double-edged sword, really. But I'm disappointed with the outcome. But like I said before, I put up a great showing and won a handful of those rounds. It could have been 6-4 either way. It could have been 5-5. And but we don't come to do good. We come to win. So.
Champ, you realize that if you were to face David Benavidez now, that you got a lot of Mexican fans now supporting you after what you did. So if they would have not known you before, now they know exactly who you are, and you might even have some on your side.
Yeah. I know my Latino fan base is definitely going up. I had a lot before the fight, but obviously, now after the fight, it's gonna be a lot more, and I'll be able to take that with me into other big fights. But regardless of who's cheering for me or booing for me, there's 18,000 people, and 16 of them were booing. 16,000 were booing me, but you can't focus on that. You got to focus on the fight in front of you.
Then the other day you were out in Vegas at the Lowrider show. You got some love there too for some of the Spanish music guys.
Yeah. We went to the Las Vegas Super Show, and they were showing love. And it was a good time.
Caleb, things got physical up there between Gervonta and Isaac Cruz, man. What does that mentally? What does that do to a fighter? You've been through that, mentally. Does that work for you, against you?
I mean, I don't know. I can't speak on anybody else and how it makes them, but it's gonna be a good fight tomorrow night, and I'm ready to see it.
Does the pushing take things a little bit too far? Is that like is that a violation for you to be pushed at the weigh-in? I'm serious. Is that a violation, or just a violation of your space in general?
I mean, it's just a violation of somebody's space in general, but it's a fight, so sometimes it's gonna happen.
Do you believe that it adds fuel onto the bout?
I'm sure it does.
Caleb, what are your thoughts on Canelo leaving the division now and going up to cruiserweight?
We'll see soon. I don't know. We won't find out.
Do you think it's a good call on his part to go for another belt 2 divisions higher?
If that's what he wants, If he likes it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? If that's what he wants to do and wants to accomplish, then that's on him.
How big of a puncher is it, or was it the damage that added up, or you just got caught clean, or how do you assess his power overall?
I mean, at first he wasn't really punching like that. That's kind of why I started stepping to him a little bit, but I just got caught pulling on the way back. I had my hand up, but he kind of caught me on the inside. And, I kind of get shot. Anybody can get caught with a good shot in boxing. So
there were some flashes there of the Mayweather, the fight between him and Mayweather. You definitely had the right strategy. Did you look at that fight a lot, the Mayweather performance over Canelo, or was it just the game plan that you came up with?
I watched some tape, but just trying to make certain adjustments in the fight. At first, I was moving my feet, but what happened on the next.
How hard have you battled? Being what's called a slick fighter, black style fighter, whatever you want to call it. How hard have you fought to break apart from the moniker of that you're trying to look like Mayweather? How important is it for you to be an individual in boxing and to not continuously be compared because of a style?
Well, I don't think we really have too much of a similar style. You know, he's got a lot of ring IQ. I know I got a lot of ring IQ. I got good footwork, good defense. You know, we have some similar. You know, we're not comparing ourselves to each other, but you know, I don't think I fight all that much like him. I have a different style, but I can do different things. So I try to implement different things in when it's needed. But you know, I'm my own person. And you know, I didn't invent that style. He didn't invent his style. You know, we're all just taking bits and pieces from people before us.
Caleb, in the 9th round, I believe you guys started a conversation with Canelo in the ring there. What inspired that?
Just, you know, feeling relaxed and trying to keep that relaxed energy going. Just let him know, like, hey, I'm pretty good, huh? I know I'm better than you thought I was. Because I know I surprised him with that. So,
right.
You know, just having some fun.
Talk to us about the words you exchanged after the fight as well, and kind of squashing everything leading up to it.
You know, you heard what he said. You know, sorry for this, sorry for that, but you know, I just let him know I'm sad because I was, and you know, I'm just being honest in that moment. I'm not trying to make excuses and say, you know, the ref stopped there too early or anything like that. I'm just, you know, I was sad. I put a lot of work in. I told him I wanted to keep fighting. I didn't want the ref to stop it, but you know, and that was it.
Going back to the stoppage, after the first knockdown, you kind of went across the ring. Do you remember what were you thinking at that point in particular time? Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, just trying to get in my bearings.
Hey, Chad, sometimes some fighters, after they fought Canelo, they just like seem to disappear.
No, I'm not disappearing.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna be right back.
You're in front of the
First
cameras.
quarter
That's
the
what it
next year.
means. Yeah.
Next year, I'm gonna be back in the first quarter next year, and I showed I belong at the top. I showed I'm a world-class fighter. I showed I can hang with anybody in the world. Anybody in the world. If he's a once-in-a-generation talent, that's what y'all call him. Then just know I can hang with anybody in the world. So, you know, I'll be back.
How motivated are you to get back in the ring after your first defeat?
Motivated. You know, just I'll be back, like I said.
Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you, Caleb.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Great effort, sir.
Thanks, Chad.
Right, yeah, he's kind of kicking it.
You know, we had Errol Spence knocked down where his glove touched the ground. Yeah, we did have a flash with Agent Broner, but he was coherent, looked at me, and we knew where we were at. The most telling thing here is he went down twice in one round. That's never happened before. That's something that I, as a trainer, have to look at and say, what's going on? Something's wrong. Something's not right. So he wasn't able to, in my eyes, fix that in that small period of time that he had. I had to fix that. I had to make that call.
Clearly, you have more experience in this game than I do. So when I'm looking at the fight and I watch him go down the second time, and then he pounds his fist on the ground, to me that was saying, damn it, I got caught. I shouldn't have got caught with that. I'm ready to go. Clearly, you saw something different. Tell us what you saw in that moment, other than he never went down twice in a round.
In that moment, I saw him not being able to control what was going on. He wasn't able to compartmentalize where he was at, have his head clear to prepare for what was about to come. We're in there with a sharpshooter. The sharpshooter, he's not going to miss anything. He's coming. He's ready. This wasn't a fight that at given points in times they were holding each other. There were lulls in the action. This wasn't going on. These guys were boxing, and they were coming back and forth throughout the whole entire fight. If this had been a fight where I seen that one or the other had slowed down enough, where they were taking time, holding each other, right? Maybe the referee had to break them apart a lot. That wasn't what was going on. So I had to make a decision based on what I saw. And the most intelligent person that I know, who's done everything you see here today, put everything you know going on here today, anything and everything that you've seen at the highest level of boxing, from Mayweather, Pacquiao to Wilder, Fury 1, 2, and 3, said to me, Kenneth, no one knows the sheep better than the shepherd. And what that essentially means is I've been watching this kid from birth to where he's at today. And at that point in time, I made a decision based on what was best for him.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to. I don't want to take up everybody's time, but my question is now. Does you train other fighters?
Yeah.
Do you feel that you could have been too close to that situation to make that call? I respect you for making the call. I'm just asking a question. Could you been too close to that situation to make that call and kind of pull the trigger kind of quicker than maybe necessary? Because you're right there. You've done it all. You've seen it all.
Could you have made that call?
What I'm saying is
you could not have.
With that being your son, could have been
not,
too close?
Listen,
could you have been too close to that situation? That's all I'm saying.
You have to be close to a situation in order to understand a fight.
Okay, fair enough.
All of my guys right now that I have, Sean had 36 professional fights, 31 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. I've got a kid that's 11-0, Malik Montgomery, 10 knockouts, an ABO champion at 126. I've got another kid that's 10-0 with 8 knockouts. I've got another kid that's 8-0. I've got another kid that's 4-0, and I got another kid that's 3-0. Them combined, that's 36 wins and no losses. Sean had 36 professional fighters. If you see any of my fighters, they're all going to tell you the same thing. I live in Mr. Porter's house. I sleep in Mr. Porter's house. I eat at Mr. Porter's house. I eat at Coach's house. When Coach got tired of me eating at his house and sleeping in his house, he bought another house and he put us in it. Right? We are very close. I have to be close to the situations in order to guide them through the fire they have to go through. So there is no situation that anyone could be in that they would know better than me in that particular situation. I will give you the opposite but the same with Barry Hunter and Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson's very last professional fight against Lipinets. I was in the corner with Barry Hunter. 6 to 7 rounds into the fight, Barry said, "Kenny, take over." I took over as trainer. He never told me this was going to happen prior to. I took over as trainer. At that point in time, I became trainer. Guess what Barry did? Barry stepped away from the situation and he watched to make sure that his fighter was safe. And Barry stepped up on the ropes, up on the apron, and he stopped the fight. I didn't even know he was about to do it. That was his call. I don't know better than Barry in that situation. He's been with Lamont since he's 10 years old or even younger. I met Lamont when he was 10 years old. So no one knows better than the person who is the closest. The closer you are to the situation, the better education and information you have. You wouldn't know if Sean was having situations going on at home that were bothering him. You wouldn't know if Sean used the bathroom today and things didn't feel right. You wouldn't know if Sean drank well before a fight. You wouldn't know if Sean had a headache. You wouldn't know any of this.
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm asking you.
Exactly. You don't know about a corn that's on his foot. But I asked about the corn that was on his foot.
Right.
I didn't wait till fight night to ask about it. I asked about it weeks prior too.
Gotcha.
So the point I'm making is the minuscule, smallest, little, tiniest things is what's needed to be successful at the highest level.
So you can never be too close.
Never going to be too close. And the opposite of that is this. I let the fight go longer, he gets laid out, and we're talking about something different. And that's all my fault, right?
Right.
Of course. But I'd rather you come at me about what I did to protect my son than what I did and my son got hurt. Because all of that would have been my fault as well.
Appreciate that, Kenny.
Yeah, if that helps you out.
No,
and if that helps out the people that are watching.
Yeah,
because I've never addressed any of these questions. I haven't looked at any of these things. I didn't read none of the comments. This is the closest I came to it.
Yeah.
Who am I speaking to right now?
Voice of the fans, Cameron Buford.
All right, Cam. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Thanks for breaking it down.
Absolutely.
I came a little late, man. You might have answered this already.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Cause yeah. And you know I ain't gonna walk away with
I know.
No, I was just gonna say, I think the big testament is just fight fans have seen you and your son go through all the fights that everyone's ever asked for, and Sean has, prevailed thick and thin through all of it. So, just, I guess speaking for the fight fans, they all believe there was a huge chance that Sean would win that fight regardless of that circumstance. So obviously, you know, we appreciate you protecting your son.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of, I'm just saying that that's just so strong about your son's career.
Right.
And that's just kind of the love and hate that you're probably going to get because you love Sean so much. And the fights that you produced, there's 2 more rounds. We wanted to see what could have possibly happened 2 more rounds. I'm just speaking for those fight fans, but we really appreciate you just kind of looking out for your son and also being good for boxing.
I appreciate that. I thank you. I see the relative positive of both sides of that, where there was, you know, people that wanted to see something that they were expecting to see and thought it could happen if he had a little more time to it. Nobody wanted that more than me. Nobody wants that more than me. I do not want ever my son not to be successful in anything he's doing. If he's playing Monopoly, I'm not in the game, but I'm walking by and I'm like, dude, you need to buy that property. That's me, right? So nobody wanted that more than me. Wasn't there. Wasn't his night. Terrence Crawford was doing what he was doing, and you know, it was up to me to make that decision. But I understand, and that's a great perspective to put it.
This is misguided, I don't want to call it misguided anger from fans, but it's just, I guess they don't know how to react with emotions when they see something like that, because it's obviously from
I know this ain't the same thing, and I get what you're saying, but I'm big on analogies. I'm big on quotes. If you have a child, a small child, take your child to the hood, go in somebody's backyard, got a pit bull, throw your child back there. If he can't defend himself, which he cannot, against that pit bull, it's gonna hurt you, right? So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't expect nobody else to do it. I've done this for many years with that particular boxer who happens to be my son. I put him in a line of fire. I put him in situations with Errol Spence's and Keith Thurman's and Kell Brooks and Ugas's and Garcia's. I put this kid in all those situations. When this is over with, no one else has to deal with that but me. No one else has to deal with that but me. So this morning when I was getting my coffee, before I came to the fight, or came to the weigh-ins, I looked out of my kitchen window as I was getting my coffee at Sean's bedroom window. He lives across the street from me. I don't get it no better than that. I can't get it any better than that. That's the best job I've ever had. I'm his father.
I just have one last question.
Yes.
I just want to ask.
And what's your name?
My name is Ron.
Thank you, Ron.
I was going to tell you.
Appreciate it.
I was like, do you want me to get it?
Okay, that's what's happening.
I want to ask from the point, just from what you saw from Crawford's end. I guess there's this clip that showed him in like the 10th round, and they were being told that the son was up on the scorecard. And then, I'm not saying that he had to switch, but from that point on, it was like the 10th round, that's when the knockdowns occurred. Did you see a switch from Crawford, like in that round, like picking it up and trying
No,
to
I didn't see a switch. Okay. If somebody had came over to me and said, hey, Kenny, Sean's ahead, and the same thing that happened, I would have made that same decision. I didn't see a switch.
Okay.
Not to be negative in any type of way, but I saw Sean get caught in a situation where he had his feet squared up. It's a basic fundamental no-no. Feet were squared up, and he went down from a punch that I didn't think was the hardest punch in that situation. So no, I didn't see the switch, but it's great for TV. It's great for Terrence, and you know, Terrence Crawford, his coach, you know, Bomat, the rest of the coaching staff, everybody over there, they did an excellent job, as I knew they would, to get ready for Sean Porter. So, you know, hats off to them in that situation. If they sensed something and they saw something or whatever they needed to do to motivate their guy right there, it worked out well for them.
Kenny, you're one of the few, off the top of my head, trainers that has prepared for both Spence and Crawford. Looking at both of those guys, having the up-close look at both of them like that, I don't know, give me an evaluation of both guys. Is it kind of splitting hairs as far as talent-wise with these guys?
They're two different guys. I'm not taking anything away from either guy. I think Errol's a great fighter. I've had opportunities to work with him. I've had opportunities to spend time with him. I traveled all over the world with him. Great fighter, undefeated fighter. You know, can't take nothing away from him in any type of way. I'm an Errol Spence fan, except on nights when he's fighting Sean Porter. Terrence Crawford, I'm in the same situation with Terrence. You know, I traveled to Venezuela with Terrence in 2007. I've been in national tournaments with Terrence. When I see Terrence, I'm happy to see Terrence. Never thought any of those times we traveled, things we did, they were in totally two different weight classes, that they would ever fight each other. But it happened. So both guys got decisions. Both guys, well, one guy got a decision with stoppage, but the other guy got a decision. And both guys, you know, have shown that they're at the top of their class. And both guys, I believe, should have to fight each other. They should fight each other. Hopefully they work that out and they get that fight and make things happen so that these questions get answered in the ring and not just, you know, on camera. At this point in time, it's hard for me to decide. But damn, if Sean had been fighting like he was fighting the night he fought Errol, you know, we may not be having this conversation. But, you know, on the other hand of that, again, you know, Bud's a great fighter, Errol's a great fighter. I hope they put it together and make it happen. Maybe that didn't answer your question, but that's just my position. And you said it was splitting hairs.
Right. You said that you're a Spence fan other than the night he's fighting
and the same
Porter.
thing for Bud.
I was going to say, are you a Spence fan when he's fighting Bud? or is it, again, just we'll see what happens?
I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't thought about that. You know, if you push me, I'm probably a Spence fan. You know, because you know. But then if you push me, I'm still a Bud fan. You know, but you know, it's an amazing situation for both of those guys. I'm talking about their careers right now. It's an amazing situation for both of them to be in. It's a blessed situation for both of them to be in, to have the chance to fight each other and be undefeated, and then put all the questions aside. You know. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's right there, huh?
Nah, but I mean, you know, like I said, if you push me, I'm you know, I gotta say, you know, me and EJ, we go way back, you know, and the same thing with Bud. But you know.
Does that have to do with Spence not trying to fight you at any point of his lifetime, and Crawford, yes, trying to do it?
No, Crawford trying to fight me just made us closer. Okay. You know, that just made us closer. Great guys, man. Great. I mean, these are great stories to be able to tell. Right. Nobody else can say they squared up with Terrence in an alleyway. Nobody else can say they was on a plane that the landing gear wouldn't come out with Errol. You know, nobody can say. I can say that.
Right.
You know, I can say those things. So I think, you know, considering the fact that we was in a life or death situation, Errol's my man.
Right.
Errol's my man.
Right.
The plane going down, me and Errol, that's
that
my
was
man.
it. That tips it over.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I would like to be ringside of that fight.
Definitely,
no doubt.
As we all would.
I'm
Last
gonna
one for
be.
me.
Make it happen, I'm going to be there.
For sure. Kambosos shocked the world, a lot of people at least, you know, against Teofimo Lopez. What were your thoughts on his performance, and what happens from here in Kambosos' career, you think? Well, who should he fight next?
I really can't say. I didn't see the fight. I stopped watching everything after Sean's fight. Yeah, I stopped watching everything after Sean's fight. And in that particular situation, I don't know, you know, I just didn't. But it's crazy because, as I said earlier, I was in camp with T.O. I had a guy sparring with T.O. I know how good T.O. was looking. But then there was the cancellation of the fight. And then there was another date reset. And then there was a cancellation and another day reset. And all these things, I think, really played a big part in taking away from his performance. Not that Kambosos didn't fight a great fight that night. But I think from T.O.'s standpoint, when I seen him and saw what he was doing early in, like back in the summer, he was ready. that's just my trained eyes and what I saw. And I had a guy that was sparring with him every day. We sparred with him for a few weeks. As it stands and where it's at now, I got absolutely no doubt. Him and his dad get past this, and they become world champion again. They're going to do that. I know that. The rematch is something that they should be, eyeing, figuring out, or how they're going to go about doing that, because he deserves that. I believe that a guy that has lost to someone deserves that rematch. Sean never got a rematch with anyone he ever fought. He didn't get a rematch. Nobody wanted to rematch him. And I like to say it's like, jumping out of a plane from 20,000 feet. When you hit the ground, you're like, I made it. I'm never going up again.
That's it.
I'm not jumping out no more. That's it for me.
Speaking of sparring, you obviously can't go into detail, but what inspired you to bring in, or for you and Tank to link up and you guys spar prior to the fight? He seems smaller than Terrence, and just how did that sparring go?
No, that wasn't directly related to Terrence as much as that was directly related to Sean, right? So there's some things that you can take from a sparring session with that. And how does it happen? It happens because Barry and I have been working together now. Next year, 2022, will make 25 years. Were we together every day over these past 25 years? No. Did I watch Lamont Anthony Peterson go from 8, 9, 10-year-old kids to 30-some-year-old men? Yes, I did. Did he watch Sean in Sean's first contest, not very first fight that Sean had, but first fight against one of his guys at 10 years old, go from a 10-year-old kid to a 10-time world champion? Barry was there for that. So when Barry says, hey, I'm bringing Tank in, I'm working with Tank, let's combine some things together. We put it all together. Calvin, instrumental in the things that he's done with Tank to get the Tank to where he's at today. And Barry said, listen, none of us have any egos. None of us have any ulterior motives here. Let's just put this thing together seamlessly and make this kid successful on fight night. So that's how it worked. As far as the sparring was going, yeah, there was a size difference between Tank and Sean, no doubt. But then at that time, Sean was down low in weight. So it wasn't as big as somebody might think. When Sean was down low in weight in the low 50s and Tank was up in the high 40s, it's not that big a deal. But, we got what we got out of it. Tank is super quick, super fast. He's got the ability to make you miss a punch and hit you with a punch. So Sean got some good things out of it.
Whenever you guys are ready to release that video, man, you can put it on my channel whenever you want. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate you, sir.
We didn't film.
Oh, okay.
Tank wouldn't allow it.
Oh, okay.
And that's okay.
Right.
But Tank's side did film.
Okay.
So if you want to get it,
I'll hit him up.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time, man, as always. Thank you, Kenny. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah. You still got my number?
You know what, bro? I don't. Let me Here, let me end this real quick. Here, do you want to help me sign off the live? Kenny Porter, the man?
Oh, we was on live.
Yeah,
That's
we were
what's
on
up.
live too. Yes,
that
sir.
was nice. I appreciate that. He tells me after the fact we was live. I appreciate that.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
guys.